I'm in a weird phase with K-pop right now. I care, but I also kind of don't. Aside from maybe 5 releases, nothing really got me excited. And now that I've heard most of the recent drops, I can honestly say there's not a lot to be excited about. Yet. I've noticed a small shift in the industry that I actually like, and perhaps the interesting parts will come later. And I wanna talk about that. This video's going to be a little different. No rankings, no full reviews or format, no fancy editing, just my thoughts on what K-pop is to me based on these releases, what I enjoyed, what impressed me, and what didn't. Even though I said there wasn't much to be excited about, I thought these releases stood out to me in many ways that aren't just positive. So yeah, think of this as a current state of K-pop kind of thing, but seen through my perspective, which of course means a little hint of bias. If you have your own thoughts, sure, go ahead. After me though. K-pop's been shaky lately, but I'm seeing a bit of hope. Let's talk. You know what I like? Weird. And Kiki is weird as hell. The whole fiasco about them being another newjeans copycat made me even more interested. Now, K-pop stans aren't exactly the smartest bunch, but they kind of got that right. I wouldn't necessarily call them copycats, just similar in ways. newjeans, or NJZ, or MHDHH or whatever the fuck you call them these days, were a group that utilized the Y2K era of music and pop culture. Similarly, Kiki does the same, only this time much more modern, the era of quirk. Being different is kind of cool again, and I love that Kiki embodies that. There was a time when K-pop was considered weird and perhaps even unacceptable. These days everyone loves it, which is great for a group like Kiki, because it's now cool to like K-pop, which means they can be weird. Another group I see going different is Hearts to Hearts. That was very expected from them as they are an SM group, but I was worried that they might go tame with them, considering how Rise ended up being. Rise is no bad group by any means, but they aren't exactly beefing with the Black Mamba or releasing music by dem joints. Which was a shock to me knowing that they're from SM. I expected something a little less normal. So far H2H doesn't seem to be going that way. Music-wise they're shaping up to be more experimental. This is exciting for the next generation because they will have an FX/Red Velvet in the mix. The Chase was a phenomenal track, might be one of my, if not favorite of the year so far. It was beautiful, magical, and low-key eerie. Kiki also has some music that may seem distasteful to some, but to me, I find them very amusing and fun. I absolutely love that being different is cool again, and I know these two will be giving 5th gen the flavor it needs, though it's not technically required. Say My Name's latest title intrigued me unexpectedly. If you listen to the song it's basic as fuck, but there is a hidden charm. To me, it just sounded clean and chill. Sometimes music doesn't need to be groundbreaking, and that's this song. Comparing their titles together, I feel like Say My Name will be a group that won't do much, won't grow huge, but is here to stay to give us pretty music. They could be a group that'll remain consistent all throughout, and hopefully improve along the way. Speaking of consistency, what the fuck happened to Young Posse? Just a few months ago you were with Santa Claus in the Hood. What happened? All jokes aside, it was shocking to see this from them. They could have just ripped off Tupac and called it a day, but it seems like groups are trying again. More flavor and spices, that's what K-pop needs. I doubt YP will ever let go of the hip-hop style ever, especially hearing the full album. But I hope they branch out more. Especially if you're saying shit like this. Anyways, on the topic of how trying is cool again, Kickflip isn't a fresh group. They're new for sure, but they're not different style new. And that's fine, because what I really loved about this debut is how good it was, specifically the album. Cohesive albums and K-pop don't exactly go hand in hand, but when they do, my god please take me. I've only heard 3 tracks, yet I already felt complete. These 3 songs just flow greatly together and I'm sure the rest of the record does as well. Again, the style isn't new, but after that album, they might be the best of their kind yet. Thankfully not every group will be the same, because I present to you the freshest one so far. We've seen groups similar to them in the past, but seeing the 4th and 5th gen slate, they're kind of new territory for boy groups. I'll be honest, I am far more intrigued by the aesthetics than the music itself, but I definitely still keep my eye on them. The potential of the group is up there, and I don't want to see it wasted. Let's make it rain. I feel the thunder. Staying on the topic of men, 6 are back and released their best song in a while. There's only one word to describe it and that's a bop. Daft Punk meets K-pop. And that dance break? Jesus Lord, welcome back boy groups. Groups in their tier may not consistently bring the best quality music, but when they do it always hits hard. These 3 showcased everything I needed from the boys, and just K-pop in general. Give me consistency. Give me cohesivity. I know it's easier to just put anything into an album, but trust me, a properly made project can do wonders. Next, give me new ideas. K-pop already takes inspiration from literally everything, so what's stopping them from going all out? But do it respectfully, of course. And lastly, don't be boring. K-pop is pop music, and pop music is catchy. Give us a full meal, not just the sample. A full meal like this one by Mark and Haitian. You see, this isn't even my favorite, but it stands out because it's a properly realized and executed piece of music. That's what it truly comes down to, you know, execution. Everyone has cool ideas, but it's always how you do it that makes it count. A little interlude if you don't mind. So someone in my comments recommended me this new indie artist who I thought was cool. She's indie, she's artistic, and I thought she deserved a shout out. I don't know if she's exactly K-pop, but yeah, go check her out. Now on to some of my disappointments. I'll start with Yeji. Yeji straying away from the itzy sound was genius and pretty much needed. She's always been the strongest contender for solo music, and that's because she's great at what she does. But the song itself didn't really do it for me. I can't exactly pinpoint what was the problem, but I'd guess it was her voice. Not because she sounds bad or anything. I just thought this particular sound didn't fit her voice as much as her looks. I think something like 258 would have been the perfect choice. It's not the perfect song, but I thought it matched her overall vibe well. It hurts me to say, but Seulgi's comeback did not serve as much as it should have. Look, expecting an album as good as 28 Reasons would be lying to oneself. So I didn't. I wanted it, but I knew that would be impossible, because 28 Reasons was just perfect. Accidentally on Purpose is no bad album, duh. But some parts of it did leave me asking for more. The title track was okay. It does its job, but I expected more from someone in her caliber. Some B-sides were also, I don't want to say it, but a little boring. They're not terrible songs, but when you're in K-pop music we expect to receive songs that will stick with us, and these songs just didn't. Better Days and Praying were the obvious standouts, but I wish the whole album did too. The rollout promised a huge project, but I didn't see that. I think the better the artist, the more their potential, and as someone who loves them, I of course only want the best from them. I hope for the next one to be better. Anyways, welcome back Chungha. This woman has never fallen off, but it's no secret that her previous releases aren't fan favorites. I like Eeny Meeny more than most people, but there is a reason why Stress will be more talked about. This is Chungha at her best. House music. Though at the same time, I don't want her to confine herself to one sound. As much as it gives us everything we want, too much of it could be damaging. Do it from time to time while still exploring. That's the best option. Stress will be a song I know I'll hear more throughout the year, and I won't be complaining. Since we're in the topic of soloists, let me talk about the biggest one of the moment.
Wanna rock with Jenny? Keep your head down, nails done like Jenny. Ask God, I'm obsessed like Jenny. Like Jenny. I think I really like.
I'd consider this debut to be a very successful venture to the mainstream pop scene. The album is good. It's basic, safe, but come on, it's pop music. But that's not the biggest takeaway here. A K-pop idol competing with the main pop girls is big for the industry's growth, especially for the eastern side of the world. I mean, yeah, it's Jennie from Blackpink. Of course it's going to do numbers, but it does show us that it's possible, and hopefully the West becomes more open for eastern artists to share the spotlight. But she does have some addressing to do, so I'd like to promote a different soloist first. One idol that I'd love to see get that spotlight is 10. I mean, come on. Need I explain more? This guy is a star and a stunner. I know 10's style isn't exactly the general public type, which is unfortunate. It isn't exactly mine either, but I can see how perfect he does things. His music, performances, it's in a level a lot of idols will never reach. I'm just letting y'all know because someone like him shouldn't go unnoticed.
Baby, you a stunner, baby. Stunner, baby, you a stunner, baby. Yeah, stunner.
Or rather, two of the biggest standouts for me were these two groups right here, with reasons that aren't just positive. Let's start with IVE. Empathy was an album that I thought was their most important one yet. Shameful plug, but I did make a video about it that I'd appreciate you check out. But basically, the album is a reflection of who they are now, after everything they've been through. It is a mirror in which they see themselves and accept their flaws and strengths. SSERAFIM's Hot was different in a surprising way. They were always known for their bold and fiery image, and the fans love that. But this album didn't showcase a burning flame. It shows a steady inner light that resides within them, meaning they aren't just the flame, but there's also a burning light that lives inside them. Both albums are beautiful in theme with amazing visuals and styling, but that's as expected from these groups. Unfortunately, the music doesn't live up to the concept. If we're just talking about the songs, these might actually be the weakest albums they've released yet. I don't hate them, but it's frustrating. The ideas are strong, but the tracks feel short, lacking, or just underwhelming. It doesn't reach its full potential. Now I doubt they'll be out of relevancy after these, because again these are just my opinions. But I personally am more interested in the art than the numbers, or how it does in the market, and these projects just didn't quite hit the spot. On the contrary, there are two other groups who might not be nearly as popular, but are way more artistically satisfying in my opinion. Let's start with SSERAFIM. They've had 3 very different releases, and each one perfectly shows what K-pop is all about. Honestly, SSERAFIM is the most K-pop group to ever K-pop. They just simply get it. Cheeky icy thing is the kind of K-pop that makes non-listeners afraid of the genre, and it was amazing. Abnormal, bold, yet really fun. GPT was one of the best K-pop songs of last year, and it's totally insane how it's not talked about enough. It nailed the bubblegum sound that we all know and love, paired beautifully with K-pop's favorite theme, romance. It was simply lovely. And bebe, just pure K-pop energy. Nothing more, nothing less. And here's the thing. People say they want to keep the K-pop sound, and fight off the recent Western influences, yet they can't even handle SSERAFIM? I know SSERAFIM will keep on releasing good music, but most notably, remind us how K-pop is basic, and how basic can still be great. But perhaps standard doesn't suit your needs anymore. Well, I've got just a group for you. In the realm of criminally underrated groups, NMIXX might be the worst case. While yes, I am very aware that this group actually has fans, I don't think they're enough. Relative to what they are doing with their art, it is diabolical how they aren't widely considered to be one of the top groups right now. I mean, I do, but I know a lot of you know NMIXX as just another group, which is really underestimating their level of skills and works. The FEF 304 series is easily one of the best products K-pop has made in the past 5 years. The story of how this group has never fitted in, yet is still standing on their own says a lot. They won't give you what you want, but perhaps they might give you something you need. This recent comeback alone proves to us that they are one of a kind. High Horse, Ocean, Know About Me, Papillon, and Fuck. The rest of the trilogy is just perfect. Not in a way that it was flawless, but perfect in a way that it was consistently well done. It showcases a duality in style that only groups like Red Velvet could only ever do. It shows their confidence in their uniqueness that most groups would be afraid to do. Some of these songs are bold while some are familiar, yet they excel at both. You don't expect too much from K-pop because it's a pretty standardized industry. You give us something same but slightly different, and that'll be fine for us. But then you get a group like NMIXX. They are the kind of groups you look at and go, wow, I didn't expect this. That's an expression I'd say sticks more than a simple, I like it. Not only are they the kind of group that truly keeps this genre worth loving, but reminds us that boring-ass K-pop can be exciting when you give it 100%. And for that we should give them their deserved praise. I don't know, maybe these two are just less general public friendly, and underdogs will remain under. But I know it's possible to have them reach the top. Take a look at even her song Dim blowing up. She's not necessarily the most unknown artist ever, but it felt like it when you compare her exposure now from previously. This could very well be a one-hit wonder thing, but that wouldn't be her fault anymore. Dim has always been a good song, and this recent popularity just let everyone know about it. The lesson is any good song can come from anyone, worldwide famous or not. And that kind of quality music will always draw my eyes first.